Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I will be welcoming back my comedian friend, Jane Haze, who I had on about a month or two, almost 2 months ago now on the show, who I began with in comedy. And we're going to be talking about, our early days in the comedy scene and stuff. And I want to tell her about just how fucked up the Bay Area comedy scene became, because we didn't really get to touch on that much last time she was on. And so I'm going to have her back on, and we're going to discuss that. And it's going to be pretty cool today and stuff. So, here is my interview my new interview, I should say, with Jane Haze. Jane, how the fuck are you?
Hey, Tommy, what's going on? I'm a lot better than I was last time. How about it? We'll say that.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Dead rat. Okay, that's weird. Okay, there wasn't a dead rat last time. However, I was up in Alaska for some bad family issue, health problem things. So, I'm back in Memphis now. So, life's a little bit better.
Oh, that's good.
Probably a little bit more hungover than I was last time, but it's all good.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, I went to a wedding yesterday, which was good. That was good, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then my boss decided to do a Jaeger bomb. That's bad. Because, when your boss is like, hey, let's do a shot.
Uh-huh.
I don't do those anymore, man. But, it's hard to say no, so.
Yeah. Shit.
Because apparently, peer pressure still works on me.
Oh, that shit does not work on me, I'll tell you.
Yeah. So how you been? What's going on? What are we doing podcast? What's the theme today? More San Francisco talk or what? Yeah,
a little bit about that and stuff. That'd be cool.
Okay. Haven't heard much, but you know what I think I have seen since we talked last is that Sharon Meadows is now Robin Williams Meadows.
The who?
The Sharon Meadow, where Comedy Day.
Oh yeah.
Has been held. That is now Robin Williams Meadow. Or Robin Williams Meadow. Sorry.
Yes, it is.
I don't want to pluralize too many things there.
Yes, you are correct about that.
Did you get to go to the Comedy Day this year?
No, I haven't been there in 2 years.
Sadness.
Yeah.
Because that, of course, is the most magical comedy thing ever. And so I guess, was it an honor of Robin this year?
I don't know. I don't know. I imagine it was, but I don't know the whole information.
I think it must have, because if they dedicated the meadow, and let's see, what was it? Did he die like a year? Has it been a year or 2 years? I guess it's 2 years now, right?
He died 4 years ago.
Was it 4 years?
Yeah, 2014.
Was it 14?
Yep.
Wow. It doesn't feel that long ago.
No.
And that's the. Yeah, so it's like, oh, dang, there's another. Yeah, because there's already like another. I guess Kurt Weitzman's made a movie about Robin, and then HBO's put out a movie.
I saw the documentary on HBO. I liked it. I was a little unfulfilled, but I liked it overall.
I haven't been ready to cry yet. That's the reason why I haven't watched it. It looks really good, and I saw it come on, and I was like, nope, no tears tonight. Changing it.
Well, they don't interview a whole lot of comedians. Mostly like Letterman and Elaine Boozler, and that's it. Because so many comedians hated him from his generation because he stole jokes.
On that, I would counterpoint that. Carlos Mencia, of course, was a thief.
Oh, he's the worst. He's the worst kind of thief, though, because he'll take your entire act verbatim and perform it before you get a chance to.
Well, that's what he was doing, and then
Yeah.
probably in, I don't know, 7 years ago, saw him. He happened to be at a club that I was at in Wisconsin. I forget why I was there, if I was performing or just pleasure. There was a club called the Side Splitters. The Side Splitters?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Comedy Quarter. It's Comedy Quarter. Side Splitters is in Florida and Knoxville, but it's up in Comedy Quarter, which is no more. It was a great club at first, and then I hear some financial stuff went down, and I don't know. I don't know how it ultimately reached its demise, but Lucia's there.
Yeah.
And his writer dude was like, no, you should totally go watch him. Like, none of this stuff is stolen anymore, because he has like a team of writers around him at all times.
Yeah.
He just, pays people, and he's got people on the payroll now. So, not that I think he's any funnier or whatever, and he seems like a nice enough person, I'll say.
Yeah.
But he's got writers around him that he pays to steal their jokes now.
Right.
Whereas Robin, from everybody, from what I can hear, he just takes in so much information, and then he do anything he could to make.
Oh yeah, he riffs a lot, and he always took other people's jokes, but he didn't do it intentionally.
It would just almost be like like an improv perspective, because improv people, when they're improvising, yeah, they drop other jokes and just ideas that you're like, yeah, that's not yours.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about anyone specific. I'm just talking about more local improvs. Smaller potatoes, we'll say.
Yeah.
They'll kind of riff and do something, from a movie or a joke that is really easy.
Right.
And I think that's kind of where he would lie.
Yeah.
On it all. But
I agree.
ultimately, he was a nice enough guy. And, I got introduced to him by Doug Ferrari. And,
yeah.
which was very awkward, and I will forever be embarrassed about that because Greg Brooks was headlining up at the Throckmorton, and Robin came through, but I guess he was just kind of figuring out whether or not he was going to perform, and then ultimately he didn't. But so I went out side door smoking, Doug smoked his cloves, and I had my little rollies, and I went out, and Doug's like, "Hey, Robin, this is Jane Haze," and I was like, "Who are you again?"
Shit, that sucks.
And he looked at me like it was almost an insult, and Proofs was sitting there smoking.
Oh,
you
fuck.
could just kind of see that Proofs was like, "I do not approve of that," and it's like, damn it. I lost all my cool, right there. It's like, I'm going to go back in my shell and pretend I don't exist now. And,
shit.
That was
Fuck.
But between Proops and Robin, they ended up, talking about Russian literature. The Master of Margarita or something.
That's weird.
It was such a high level literature conversation that I couldn't even bullshit my way into it. That I was like, I'm just gonna sit back,
Yeah.
and observe two highly intellectual people just talk about something that I had no idea.
Yeah.
It was pretty great. So I felt like a shitbag, but I got to glean some information and from masters working. It was just,
Yeah. Shit.
it is what it before I left San Francisco. So it was like one of the last very cool memories.
Yeah. So, oh my God. So I remember last time you were telling me about the shit you experienced. So, like, after you left, right?
Right.
That was in 08, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so I took comedy off for a year from January of 09 to October of 10. And when I went back to it, I decided I wasn't going to go to the city no more brainwash or any of that. I just felt like I closed that chapter, and the Silicon Valley comedy scene had just started. It was just about to break. And one thing I realized out there and shit, the people out there who do comedy, they're mostly fucking guys who are just doing comedy to get free drinks, basically.
Who isn't, quite honestly? Like, at least there's some sort of compensation.
Yeah.
Even if it's like a Coke, it's a small thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's some who are dedicated to their craft, like in San Francisco, and I'm sure there's ones in San Francisco who did it for that same reason too, to get free drinks. But these people are fucking just douchebags, like big time. I mean, if you think San Francisco was full of douchebags, oh, Silicon Valley is full of big ones. There's this one that I'm enemies with, and I've talked to him quite a bit. I've talked about him quite a bit on the show. His name's Pete Munoz.
Okay.
Yeah, he is a fucking douche. I mean, he knew me during that period where I was just drinking and going up on stage and just bombing all the time. And then once I recovered from my accident and started pursuing comedy seriously and shit, and I started killing, he couldn't handle it. And he's been just running his mouth, talking shit about it ever since. And we had a huge blow up back in February on Facebook. And oh my God, we had like this big old back and forth fucking comment war. And I mentioned every dirty secret I know about him. And he did not think highly about that. I'll tell you, he blocked me, and it was so fucking great.
That's awesome.
And I had dozens of people liking everything I fucking wrote to because I was telling the truth, because he fucking borrows money from people, he lies, he backstabs, and he steals jokes. He's the Carlos Mencia of the Bay Area.
Damn.
Yeah.
It looks like we're friends on the Facebook. I vaguely remember him around. But, and that's another reason why, I kind of stopped posting jokes on, Facebook and Twitter, because I was like, you know what, this is going to end up in somebody's act, halfway across the country, and I'm not going to be there to police it. Every once in a while there'll be a throwaway or something that I would never say, on stage. But, it's like people like that where, well, this used to be fun, and now you're a joke thief,
Yeah, you know what? I think everybody steals, though, at some point, I think.
Yeah.
It's a sad, unfortunate thing, but what are you going to do? But I do...
Basically what you do is you get it on an album first, or, you get it published, or you put it on YouTube first, and then you get it nope, I've got to document it. It wasn't just, at a bar or whatever. I did it first, and here it is. So you need to stop. Cease and desist, bitch. Cease and desist.
Yeah, that's what sucks about it. But, oh my God, when I came back from my accident and actually started pursuing it, though, oh God, there was just some pretty good comedians that were starting out new in the open mics there and doing pretty good for themselves. But oh my God, I thought that they were fucking my friends and they were hella cool. No, they're fucking backstabbing me just like guys like Pete does,
Yeah, and there's something about around there and having high stakes, your punchlines and the fact that there is legitimate industry that kind of pokes their head in and out of San Francisco, in the areas and the young area. People get pretty pretty cutthroat. But on the same token, in a place where there's no industry, people get cutthroat. Like, it may just be like an attraction of terrible narcissists and sociopaths.
Yep.
And and that's what there's just people that are more inclined to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, and so, like, when you see, like, a genuinely nice person who is genuinely funny, it's like a magical unicorn of comedy. Because these are nice people, and when other comics go, like, hey, are they funny? And, the first thing is, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's not funny. But you're a solid person. And that happens more often than not. And then you have some funny people that are jackasses, and then people who are just struggling that you're just like, nah, I wouldn't even piss on them. They were on fire, kind of deal.
Yeah.
they can go do whatever they're gonna do and get me out of it. So.
Yeah, and when I went back and I started performing at Rooster Teeth Feathers, oh my God. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you something. I missed a lot of the guys from the Brainwash, and I think a lot of them had already, been through Rooster, like during that period when I was there at the Brainwash. So I was just like, God, there's nobody from Rooster, there's nobody from Brainwash here at Rooster and shit. And then I was like, then I found out later, yeah, it's because they've all they already been through Rooster and they left, and a lot of them got out of comedy and shit.
Well, and trying to maintain comedy out there because it is so expensive. I mean, it's just, it's more, there's a handful of people that are still doing it and have been doing it just as hard and as long, since I left. And, more power to those people who have just stuck with it because, man, it's, like, I don't see how people have enough time to do comedy and, like, pay the rent. Because there's not enough paying gigs out there.
No, not anymore. There was back in the 80s.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, in the 80s and early 90s, people can make a living. And that's why there's a lot of great comics that have come from the Bay Area and, around late 80s, early 90s, even though that there was, the economy crash, because there was, they could devote their time to it, make a living. I mean, it may not have been the best living, but you could still pay rent off of, the beginning and fee, and, and then we got great comedy, we got great stand-ups and great writers that are all across TV, even if, like on Jim Jeffries' show and John Oliver and things like that, you watch the credits and you can see Bay Area writers around there. And yes, I'm talking about Kevin Avery for the most part, but whatever,
Yeah.
And Matt Pearson and I think Bob Ocean may be like an LA guy, but
yeah.
Who's some. But, if you see that's where successful comics end up. They end up on the backside writing, for these TV shows. And, I just don't always see that there's a lot of opportunities for just good stand-ups to make a living, quite that same way. But instead of they got to where they are, going through the punchline system, going through Cobb, making a name, and then going down to LA, and then people vouching for them to get on some good sets.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of being just really, really funny, but you need somebody to vouch for you. A lot of times, just for those opportunities to get in front of, somebody who can employ you regularly.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck what audience thinks about me, but I care about what my peers think of me because I want to fucking do well,
Yeah. Well, and the bad thing is about that is you need your social media following because that is now a bigger emphasis than it ever has.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, do you have jokes? Doesn't matter. How many followers do they have? You know? And, like, I can tweet in 140 characters. I can put stuff in tweets, but I'm going to have, like, half the people want to respawn by the end of it or get really pissed off if they have a 2-drink minimum because I have no app, you know?
Yeah. Shit. Yeah, God, it was just insane when I went back to it, and yeah, I mean, I back in 2016, this one guy named Terry Dorsey, he got this show at the San Jose Improv because he was working there as a bouncer or something, right? It was called Open Mic Showdown. You sign up, and you get like 15 comics. They're all competing for the title, and what it is you get the title. You get to be the opener for you get a job there on the weekends as the opener for a big name. If you get the second place, you get to be MC and stuff. So I got to do this contest 4 times, and first 3 times I did really, really well. I could have gotten first or second place. And then the 4th time I didn't do so well. I got some bad news before I went on. And that night, that 4th time I went on, that ended up being the very last one that they did there at the San Jose Improv because there was some cheating that went on. This guy named Mikey Gordon, who had booked me for this show like 9 months earlier, and he fucked me good on it. He goes on a couple people after me. He tells one joke in the beginning that gets a huge laugh, and then the rest of the jokes fall flat. They give him the light at 90 seconds, and then he gets first place. And it's because he sold weed to whoever was judging. That's the kind of shit that's going on in the Bay Area now.
Well, that's one of those things where it sucks. That's the other thing, too. Like, the business is not fair. It's never been fair. It never will be fair. So, like, I am not a proponent of somebody being shady as shit like that, but it happens. And
of course.
Sometimes you just gotta go like, well, that was shitty. All right, now let me just get up and don't say anything bad about anybody. Because ultimately that usually comes back.
I don't mind saying anything bad on the podcast, but yeah, publicly, no.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that's something that I've learned as I've gotten older more than anything else. It's not so much like, in years past, it's like, if I didn't like somebody, well, fuck that person and, fuck the horse that they rode in on, and you're friends with them, well,
yeah.
You got a shitty friend, just, wait till they, blow up on you, or, turn around and, fuck you over as well,
Yeah.
All that, and people who like that, typically, they don't care about anybody else, and it goes back to the narcissist and the sociopath.
Mm-hmm. I truly agree with that. Yeah. But yeah, that's the kind of shit that's going on there now and stuff. I mean, you got out at the right time.
Well, I came to Memphis, and there was a whole other ball of drama, and the drama here was differently flavored. Because I think out there it's a little bit faster, again, because there's higher stakes. But over here, when I first got here, there weren't the high stakes.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I mean, they've definitely got some shows going on, and very good things have come out of here. Very, very funny shows, and there's some really solid folks. However, for years, people would just be backstabby, and it's such a small group. Everybody was pretty much friends. We all hung out together, and then people would still shit on each other, and it's like, we're kind
Yeah, exactly.
And, it's, and I think there's a lot of that, just that, the drama that happens, and who did what to who, and this is, well, they didn't give me what for sure, blah, 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 like, all that stuff. I'm just like, I'm too old to deal with this. Like, I don't want to spend the majority of my time hating everybody, or hating anybody in the room, to go do comedy, because it's like, wait, I'm supposed to make people laugh and feel good, yet I feel like, punching that person in the face, like, we're being just very self-aware and self-conscious that they're going to do something by the end of the night to be shitty, and the motivation behind that, there's some jealousy, or just trying to suppress other people to make you look better, and all that stuff is stupid, man.
Yeah, did you know that Michael Keaton used to be a stand-up comedian?
I did. I've never seen his act, though.
I have. It's hit and miss. He's got this one bit about Bazooka Joe Bubblegum that's friggin' hilarious. But I saw an interview he did where he was like talking about, he got out of stand-up comedy for that very reason, because comedians are so miserable and just always shitting on other comedians.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. He seems like a easygoing kind of guy.
Yeah, he is.
1980 stand-up Gotham. That's awesome. I'll have to watch that later.
Yeah.
I guess I haven't decided to look at it. Oh, hey, yeah. So, speaking of, famous people, so Steve Martin and Martin Short, their show, not that they need any more help, but I actually paid to go see comedy because, well, it was Steve Martin and he was doing comedy. And, he hadn't for years.
Yeah.
And, totally worth it. If they come through, dear listeners, all three of us, it'll basically be you, me, and then one other guy who listens to the playback of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe somebody, else that I'll share it. And anyway, it's all them, and it's amazing to see people who know what theater is, and just really, really good, funny, silly stand-up without, being too preachy about anything. And we'll stand up and kind of sketch. They kind of did a hybrid two-man show thing. And going to see people like that makes you go, you can be silly. And people want silly right now more than anything, because the world and politics and people are shit and too much stuff on Facebook and the government and, all this stuff. And, sometimes you just want a small little guy pretending to be a bagpipe in the arms of a very giant man. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It made no sense, but it was funny, and it works.
Yeah. That is so true. Oh, my God. So are you doing any stand-up right now?
No, I'm on the podcast right now.
No, I mean,
okay.
Like coming up.
Coming up, not until January, because that's how in demand I am. I will do a show in January. It's going to be, the concept of it is jokes written between the first of the year, and I think the show's on the 6th or something. And jokes written between now and then, go perform them. That's the show. And I'm like, sweet, because I don't have any jokes that I want to do anyway right now. I'd still have to write them. So this is a perfect show for me. And then in March, I am going to do another show, which is basically like a roast battle kind of show.
Yeah.
The concept is you have to start every joke out with "You Look Like," and it's called the "You Look Like" a show.
Mm-hmm.
It's another great show to do when I have nothing exciting to rant and rave about. And it's just genuinely funny. Like new people can do well in it. Pros can do well in it. But pros can also fail miserably, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a really good equalizer of talent. I feel like, so when people have potential, but they can't, they're not quite where they need to be in their own acts, but there's been some really great people that shine, and the audience is just eat it up. It's great. Like, so I guess I'll do that, and anything else. I'm an engineer now, so I don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
What happens when you go to school for 4.5 years and then you got a little debt, and it's like, I gotta go pay this off now. I gotta go be a big person.
Well, that's why I tell people. I tell people don't go to college. Take workshops because you don't have to pay. You don't have to pay off any student loans.
That or just have really good grades going into it and just work the system. But that was the reason why I went into engineering, because I was like, if I go to college, I want to do something that would actually make money.
Yeah.
I do. Now I could afford to live in California as opposed to working 3 minimum wage jobs and doing comedy. Spoiler alert, that doesn't work. But I got all that, and then I'll be able to afford everything, and I got a whole bunch of scholarships and grants, so it's not like I'm not like one of these people who have 6-figure debt for an arts degree or something.
Yeah. And of course, our generation's all full of career students who they go in for this one degree and then they keep going and doing it until they get to their mid-40s.
Right. And then they go, yeah, no, this sucks.
Yeah.
Actually, Dan Dion, the photographer for, all things Clear Channel and just America's best, a comedian, photographer, and he shoots other people too, but Dan, I remember some great words from him. He was like, you know what, these kids trying to get into movie school, like that, it's a waste of money. Why don't you just take that money that you would do and go make a movie? You would have better chances of actually breaking into the industry that way.
And go to film festivals. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Because at the end of it, what do you have? You have another project just like everybody else at that film school. And
right.
You know what? Put your heart and soul and time into your movie, and then don't make it because, a professor told you that you're supposed to do it this way and have this lighting and this subtext and, it's Fellini Day. No.
Yeah.
If you're not influenced by Fellini or whatever, don't make a movie like that. You can always add subtleties, but that's not who you are. Go figure out who you are, and then show that product to the world as opposed to somebody else's idea.
Yeah,
which also goes back to stand up.
Yeah, go be a production assistant on a set. You'll learn a lot from doing that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to
imagine that's a hard thing to get into as well.
I'm gonna try it eventually.
That's awesome. Well, yeah. If they're making movies, then they need people.
Yep. I'm gonna do all that stuff.
Yeah, I just had a friend who did that for a TV show, and it was really awesome. She got to go to Las Vegas and all kinds of crazy places, and not really sure how they picked her up in Memphis, but
yeah.
It's a good stepping stone for her. And I was like, oh, that was awesome. All right, do you have a job after it's done? Not till they pick it back up. Damn it, you were employed.
Shit. Yeah, well, the next time I get on stage, hopefully will be in December. There's this contest or not, it's not a contest. It's a festival. It's a comedy festival in L.A. at Flappers called the Burbank Comedy Festival. And they have auditions for it at Rooster T. Feathers every Christmas time. I did 3 years ago. I wasn't ready, but now I feel like I am. I'm going to try it again this year. I just got to find out when I can enter it and if they're going to have it this year. It wasn't on their calendar. And I dread going to Rooster, as I told you before, but I'm gonna do it though.
Yeah, go for it. All that, and trying to get in these festivals. I mean, you gotta stay sharp.
Yeah.
I mean, like I pretty much gave any hope of festivals. Like, you got Laughing Skull down in Atlanta, which is pretty prestigious at this point, and things like that. And I still get emails, and I go like, that'd be so much fun. Like, now I could probably create a better packet, but I don't have time to go be a good comic. Because you need to hit up open mics, you need to go do shows. If you're not out several times a week, I mean, optimally it'd be every night, but at a certain point, that's just not nearly as realistic as it once was, and you gotta stay sharp. Because even jokes that were funny like 2-3 years ago may not have the same edge, and so sometimes you just the same joke can still probably be funny, but you gotta keep on tweaking it, and you can't just not be on stage and then try to be on stage and then go like, I'm gonna get in this thing. Yeah, that doesn't work. Next time around, they'll just go, no, I don't want you here.
Yeah,
that's my fear.
Well, there's no comedy. I agree with you, but there's no comedy out here in Reading where I'm at, and doing this podcast is my only means of being funny.
and hopefully we're succeeding a little bit, maybe, possibly.
Oh my God, I interview comedy legends like Carrie Snow and Lois Bromfield and Kathy Ladman, and I fucking make them howl. Oh my God.
Good.
Like, for the first time in my life, I feel like I have talent, like other comedians think I'm funny.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Wait, you're actually laughing at something like that I'm into? Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, you got the Carolina Queen. That's nice.
Yep.
Fantastic dancer.
Yes, she is. I adore her.
Yeah. Hard to dance on a podcast. I mean, you can dance while you're doing a podcast, but but nobody will see your genius.
Yeah.
Unless it's tap dancing, and in that case, you can do it. But cool. Let's see who else is on here. Oh no, let's see. Well, yeah, I remember her back in the day, and she was always just wonderful and delightful, and every once in a while I'll still see her post up something, and I just go, oh, she's great.
Yeah. Had her on a couple weeks ago. We were talking about some serious issues and stuff, about sexual assault and stuff, and we had a good conversation.
Well, I would imagine she has probably seen some stuff along the way.
Yeah, she has.
I mean, as beautiful and everything as she is, I would imagine, especially being in entertainment in any way, I'm sure there's been terrible people that she's had to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you check out the episode, you will find all about it.
Okay. And look, we just gave a plug to another episode. I think we're doing all the right things for this podcast.
I think so too.
Yeah, all the folks. Oh, there's that Jane Haze person. She's okay.
Who?
Yeah, exactly, that Jane Haze person.
Jane.
I've met her before. Cool. Yeah.
Oh, did you see Chris Garcia's special? Yeah, although I think he's been mad at me for a while.
Oh, what'd you do to him?
Back in like the early 2000s when I started drinking and being a fool and shit, I was he did this little troll on me just as a joke, and I took it personal. Where he would like every single thing I posted or said, and I called him out on it one day, and then he wrote like, and then he stopped doing it. And I think I hurt his feelings or something because every time I comment on how I'm glad he's successful now and stuff and everything, he doesn't even respond. And it's sad. I love the guy. He's a funny guy, but I was going through a tough time at that time.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
It was a few years ago. He was on like NPR. I guess it was talking about his dad and how the dementia was kicking in or something, and like had a really, really poignant bit. And I guess he got some nice acclaim, national acclaim, I'll say, with that. And I remember hearing it and thinking it was wildly insightful, and it was really funny, and it was just like such a powerful bit. And somebody that can just mix all those emotions into something, that's a real talent. And again, that's another reason why it's like, hell yeah, Chris Garcia, hell yeah. Like one of the good ones, like has shown through enough to get in the spotlight. So that makes me happy when that happens. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, Jane, I thank you so much for coming back on again.
Yeah, like I had to go finish up. Like I was rushed last time, and it was weird. Like because I didn't know how long the podcast lasted, and it was a little like I was in an awkward space. So
I get it.
I'd much rather be this one a little bit more relaxed, and so we could talk and just shoot the shit for a bit.
Yeah, I get that, and I appreciate it so much. And let's do it again. Next year is very unpredictable for me. I'll take it from there and stuff. But I would like to do this again.
I don't know. Next year's bad for me. How about the year after that? And then we'll see. No, I'm just fine. We'll see what comes along. Cool,
yeah.
Man. Thanks again for having me. And I don't have anything to plug except those two shows. So if people are in Memphis, or I don't know, whatever people come to Memphis for, barbecue and high crime, I'll be out somewhere. So.
Yes, check out Jane Haze. She's hilarious.
All right, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right, have a great day or night. Okay.
All the things.
All right, bye. Well, there you have it. Jane Haze. Ain't she a sweetheart? Thank you so much, Jane. You're a funny gal. I always loved you. You're always one of the good ones back in the Bay Area when you were there that short time. And I appreciate you coming on. All right, if you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Till next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past because the present sucks. Later, dudes.